Hello, welcome back to Crushing Sounds. My name is Chris. We're keeping that post-Bloodstock train going. I'm joined by the epic Phoenix Lake, hot off of their awesome set on the Sophie Lancaster stage at this year's Bloodstock Festival. So thank you so much for joining me today, guys. How are we all doing?
Was good.
All good, thank you.
Yeah,
All
we're
good.
good, thanks.
Awesome. Would you like to introduce yourselves and your roles within the band?
I'm Lana, I'm the vocalist.
Ash playing guitar.
I'm Zach, and I'm the bassist.
I'm Joe, and I play the drums.
Cool. Also, welcome to Crushing Sounds. Thanks so much for joining me. Cool. So I'll try and restrain myself and not jump straight into Bloodstock like I normally do. Let's instead take things right back to the beginning. So when I was looking at a lot of your socials, I noticed that Phoenix Lake has had been through quite the history already since its original inception. I understand you started with a different name, but how did the original idea or unit form, and how did we get to where we are today?
Well, it's come from numerous bands, to be fair. Many years ago, I was in a glam metal band, played all like Motley Crue stuff and things like that. And it was with our old guitarist who was in that band, and we sort of decided we wanted to go with a more sort of modern sound, if you will. Move away from the 80s style that we was playing originally. And then we created the band that was called Descending Angels. And that's when we got Zach in.
Yeah.
So Zach's sort of been
I came from a deathcore band originally. That's what I did.
Deathcore.
And these guys were looking for a bassist. And at the time, one of our mutual friends, he said to me, these guys are looking for a bassist. And that's how I joined the band pretty much.
Yeah, and it worked straight away, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was sort of, we knew where we wanted to be with it, but again, it was very early days, so we didn't really anticipate what was, we didn't have an idea of where we wanted to take it. We just knew this is what we wanted to have a go at doing. And that's when I moved on to the guitar, because I was playing bass in the previous band. So it all sort of, it was chop and change, and then obviously through the years, members came and left, and then I think the biggest change was when our old guitarist and singer left, because obviously he was male, and then we decided, I already knew Lana from previous bands that I'd been in, and obviously we decided to bring Lana in, and it changed the sound quite a bit, but then that's where the sound of Phoenix Lake really started to become as
Yeah, what it is
if that
today,
makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah, and that's sort of how it progressed. And then Joe's the newest member. He joined us about 6 months ago, 6-7 months ago now.
Yeah, I think
More.
it was like in the works pre-Christmas, and then we actually met up to have a rehearsal in January, and then probably maybe the lecture around February.
Yeah,
something like that.
So yeah, and now we've really got a solid unit now, haven't we? I mean, we have a plan of where we want to be, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, great. What was the I guess the slight change in sound? Was that the inspiration for effectively the rebrand? Because you could have just taken a stylistic shift and kept the name.
Yeah, I think because when obviously we had the old lad in the band, we played in sort of drop B, wasn't it? And it was very sort of like it was very low tuning and things, and then obviously we tuned back up when Lana joined. And so some of the songs sounded kind of better tuned up, if that makes sense. It wasn't so low and muddy. Yeah, it wasn't so muddy sounding. It had more of I can't think of the word. It was I know it felt more. Yeah, it had more flair to it.
Clarity.
And clarity, yeah. And then obviously I wasn't a big part of the songwriting when the old guitarist was in the band. So when he left, I sort of forced my hand up to take on more songwriting. And I think a lot of obviously the sound comes from that as well. Like just me writing more of my own songs, if that makes sense. It gave us a bit of a different.
More like I have the input on like the vocal side
Yeah,
and stuff
that's
now,
it.
so it is changed. Because now we work together to write the songs, so that's how they initially start.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was mainly
it was just
the older
the
guitarist
old
and singer used to write the songs. So
Yeah, great. What made you go with the name Phoenix Lake, other than the fact it sounds really cool?
Because it sounds really cool.
Yeah. It's an awkward one, to be fair, because we knew we wanted something that we was going to be happy with and not have to change the name. I mean, one of the hardest things is coming up with a band name, and it was, I've always sort of liked mythology and things, and the phoenix has always been a cool part of mythology, and it, it's just a cool thing in it, a bird on fire, you know what I mean? But it also fits the songs quite well as well, because obviously, like, we do have heavier songs and we have softer songs, and lakes can be like calm and soft, and that can represent a softer side, and that sort of thing, without going too far into it. But and yeah, it just sounds really fucking cool.
Yeah, definitely.
The Phoenix part, doesn't it? Because you've got a lot of self-empowerment and redemption
Yeah,
in your
I think
lyrics.
Yeah,
now we're more of the lyrics and the songs and stuff, they just kind of tie into the name of the band as well. A lot about like overcoming things and I guess self-empowerment, rebirth, which fits with the phoenix. Also, I guess my hair suits it quite well.
yeah.
So got red hair, so it's like it ties in quite well with the whole theme.
Cool. So, right, elevator pitch time. So, how would you describe the sound of Phoenix Lake to those who have yet to check you guys out?
Again, it's a hard question, because we like to try and vary the style quite a bit. But I think the main influences are sort of Within Temptation, Bullet for My Valentine, Partway Drive, Evanescence, and a lot of all of that goes into each song, and you can sort of tell with we do have the symphonic vibes as well, in the orchestral sections and the pianos and the violins and all that.
A bit of thrash.
But yeah, then we have the thrashy side, and I quite like my melodic Bullet for My Valentine style riffs, and obviously Parkway are very, very well known for being very melodic. Jeff Linger's guitar playing, sorry, is very melodic, and I take a lot of inspiration from that. So
Yeah, great. Because from your like earliest releases that you can find on Spotify, I think Hush is the earliest one on there. It sounded like to me like your style was there right from the off. It's just got more refined as we've gone on, basically. So did you establish that style quite quickly, or did it take a little bit of time to develop?
yeah, it's the same sort of thing. It's like Hush was the first song that we wrote with Lana, and
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit more
but it still had it.
punky elements to Hush. Oh no, more...
Yeah, but that was one of the first songs that I sort of wrote myself as well, music wise. But so obviously I still took inspiration from like our previous guitarists' songwriting. So obviously there's still elements of that older stuff in there. But then yeah, I mean, obviously we've tried to stay true to what we have always been, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like
it's
you say, it's just become more refined.
Yeah, what inspires us as well to take a lot from different places.
Yeah, inspirations have changed. Well, not changed,
sound,
but
really.
Yeah, so it has always been the sound that we've been after. I just think, like you say, it is more refined, and obviously more experience with
We've got more of an idea of what it is we enjoy writing and
and the sort of riffs and the style that we like.
So we kind of lean in towards it a bit more.
Yeah,
now.
But obviously there's still elements that I want to personally add in future releases as well. So it'll be fun to experiment with things like that as well.
I think it's like with the symphonic side as well, because I don't think Hush should have any stuff in that, but we both. Well, you guys like bits of synth as well.
Yeah. You see because I think we put a little violin on Hush, didn't we? And then I think like as we went further and further along, we started adding more synth and more violins, and then we realised that it sort of complements the sound quite well, and it's just something we enjoy as well, isn't it? Especially that symphonic metal, like Within Temptation, Nightwish, and all those sort of bands. we're big fans of. So
Yeah, awesome. Literally in the notes I was writing when I was researching this, listening to music, I just put Within Temptation meets Nightwish. So there you go. That all comes across perfectly. So let's get to talking about your new EP, Beyond the Flames. It's really, really cool. I enjoyed it a lot. I've had it on repeat since Bloodstock, basically. So a couple of the songs I believe were released ahead of the whole EP. So it seems like he was sitting on this for quite a long time by the sounds of it. Is that a fair observation?
yeah, it's been a long time coming, mate, getting it released. To be fair, some of the songs have been written for about, well, I'd say 2 or 3 years before COVID, really.
Yeah, it's before the pandemic.
Obviously that obviously stopped us from getting in the studio, and we knew what songs we wanted to put on the EP. I think the first song was Come Alive, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
think
It was
Come
weird though,
Alive.
because I think when we initially wrote it, it was more, we were like saying it was all going to be like more of a filler type song.
Yeah.
Because none of us, we liked it, but it wasn't like one of our favourites. But then
Yeah.
after we got in the studio and we started working on it,
Yeah, it became like one of
the band's
one of
favourites.
one of the favorites. Then you know what I mean, and it goes down well. It goes down well with the crowd, and that, I mean, that's what got us to Bloodstock, that song. But that was the first song that we wrote, and I think it was Savior. I think Savior was written then, and then obviously we wanted to get in and start recording it, but then obviously there was the pandemic and all that bollocks. So that was
There was a lot of delays
yeah,
and
there was a lot of delays, and then obviously we got through the pandemic. We wrote the other 2 tracks, and it was just a waiting game, really. And then we could have probably have done a little bit more straight after the pandemic. We probably could have got in a bit sooner, but for one reason or another, obviously life got in the way and we couldn't get in the studio or for whatever reason. And then it was the finalizing the EP, like the mixing and the mastering took a bit of time, didn't it? Because
yeah,
we knew what
to
we
get it
wanted.
right.
Yeah, we knew what we wanted. We wanted it to be right. It's our debut EP, so we wanted it perfect, or as perfect as it could be. So, and we said in, I think it was about November last year, we said, right, we'll aim for a February release date, and then it was like
it just got delayed.
then March, and then April and May, and then by the time, I think it was June, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think.
And obviously, I think Come Alive had been released as a single for about a year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So
I think it was very close to a year
but-
later.
it's how these things go sometimes.
Yeah, of course. I hate to follow trends, but I think Come Alive is probably my favorite as well. Really, really, that chorus is so good. It's such an earworm. But I think it sounds like it was worth the time it took to finally get it done, because the production sounds huge. Who handled the production side of it?
Tristan Hill from 7 Hertz Audio.
Awesome.
We've worked with Tristan for about 6 or 7 years. He did a lot of our older stuff with the old band.
My old band as well.
And Zach's old band, yeah. So
Good guys, Tristan.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy, and he knows his stuff. He really does know his stuff, and he gets the best out of you. Do you know what I mean? And but he's just a really good friend as well, and it does help. It does help having someone you get along with so well, producing and all that. It gives us good ideas, doesn't it? And we can bounce ideas off, and he gets involved as well with structures and all that sort of side of it. And no, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah, awesome. And the artwork as well is really, really cool. Who's responsible for that bit?
Mark from Asylum 77. He's a quality artist as well. He's just unbelievable. I couldn't believe it when we first got the artwork back. He just he got the concept down just to 100%. Do you know what I mean?
Have we commissioned him for other pieces as well?
Yeah, he did the single artwork for Hush. But he also works with, what was it? Earache, isn't it? I think he does a lot for Earache Records as well, and he does a lot for Massive Wagons. does a lot of t-shirt designs and covers for those guys as well. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out, because obviously we had it done for his banner for Bloodstock as well, and it just looks beautiful.
Yeah,
it
Oh
really
my
does.
gosh.
Yeah, it's
Good.
so vibrant.
Yeah, awesome. So now it's finally out. How does it feel to finally have it out there?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
good
it's really
feeling.
good feeling.
It's a good feeling, because we've just wanted to get it out for so long, and share the songs. And obviously we dropped the 2 singles, and I think last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was last year.
I think Come Alive and Savior come out last year. So to finally get the other songs out, and we had such a good time filming the video for Faithless as well, and we just really wanted to show obviously the world all that, and it's everyone seems to be enjoying it so far, don't they? As well, so
Yeah.
it's gone the way we wanted it to go. It's
Yeah,
just took
awesome.
a bit longer.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, I know it's only been out a couple of months now, but best of luck with it. I hope it does really well. It deserves to, because it's really, really, really good. Cool. So I've gone on long enough without talking about Bloodstock. We are not a Bloodstock channel, but we might as well be. It seems to be all we talk about these days. So yes, I caught you guys at this year's Bloodstock Festival. You played the Sophie Lancaster stage on the Sunday morning. I always feel bad for bands that have to play the first up on the Sunday, especially be it on any of the stages. You kind of have to win over a very tired and or hungover crowd. Still, I thought you guys did great. Your music was more than energetic enough to give me the wake up kick I desperately needed that morning. So how did it go for you guys?
Yeah, I think it went really well.
I loved it.
It was very
Brilliant
surreal.
It will just stay with us forever. When it was such an amazing experience. The crowd was unbelievable. To say that it was 10:30 on a Sunday morning.
It was a lot more than we expected, I think.
Yeah,
we were like, there was going to be a few people, like you said, with it being first thing on a Sunday. We were like, I don't think there's going to be a massive crowd, but there were quite a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, when I tried to not look at the crowd whilst we were sort of like setting, waiting to go on stage, and I didn't see the crowd until I walked around onto the stage, and then when I saw the crowd, I did think, fucking hell, that's a lot of people. But obviously, it's the biggest thing that we've ever done as a band so far. It was.
That's the first festival.
It was his first festival. It was the biggest stage we've played for, the biggest crowd. So obviously, the nerves were really high. But a few songs in, it was just amazing. It really was. And then to have people react the way that they reacted to us, who is relatively unknown, and that it was just amazing. It really was.
Yeah, I'll bet. You guys were added to the lineup fairly close to the festival, unless I'm remembering wrong. I think it was about a month before the festival itself. So how did it come to be? Were you asked to play the stage, or did you approach Bloodstock? How did it all happen?
So we applied for Planet Rock's competition, because they sponsor the Sophie stage, and they were running a competition, and we applied. It was months and months before.
Yeah, I can't remember when.
It was definitely I think it was sort of like February, March time.
They did have maybe hundreds of bands to pick from.
Yeah,
I mentioned it to the guys, and I was like, "Good thing's worth us applying." And we're like, "Well, might as well give it a shot," thinking we wouldn't really stand a chance with how many bands are in the country that are like.
There's so many bands that would have applied as well, but we says obviously let's just apply, because you never know. And then I was on a beach in Mablethorpe, and got the email come through from Planet Rock and Simon Hall, and it was like I had to do a double take, and I think I rang Lorna first to say, can you like read the email and make sure it's not make sure it's not a scam or something like that. And I'm thinking,
I think we all know it's a joke.
Yeah, I thought, no, this ain't happening, surely.
I just got a call from Ash going like, I think we're playing Bloodstock. I was like, you are?
Yeah, so that was just so surreal. And then it was just couldn't believe it. It was a dream come true, because it's just not something that we'd have thought would happen. It was just, we just applied off the off chance, says, let's give it a go, and then we kind of forgot about it, if I'm honest, because it was so So
Tar and stuff to think about.
yeah,
Yeah, but we're working on EP
we
release
was
as
working
well.
on
It
the
was like
EP release. We
literally,
had a mini tour and that. So sort of
I think it
like
was on the same week when we found out, wasn't it? On the
yeah.
EP
So
release.
we released the EP on the Friday, and we actually got the email through on the Monday.
Serendipitous.
So it was sort of like those few weeks after that was so mental because we was trying to promote the EP as well as organising all Bloodstock, and it was very, very busy time for the band, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of the best promotion you could ask for. Though, it's like new EP. By the way, we're playing
Yeah.
Bloodstock.
It was very sort of hard to keep track of things though, wasn't it? You know, when you was trying to sort out the two different things, and you know, it's why sometimes you need a bit of help in it. But I think we did well.
Yeah, as I say, it was a great set. Really, really enjoyed it. I've chatted to a few bands that have played Bloodstock over the years, but this year I've been interviewing bands, and I want to try and get a sense of what the kind of the day looks like when you're backstage doing and there to do a show for Bloodstock, a peek behind the curtain, so to speak. So, how early do you arrive at the Sophie stage to set up? Because as I say, 10:30 for us was bad enough. Don't know how early it was for you guys.
Yeah,
We
so
got there for 8, didn't we?
we got there for 8. So I
Mhm.
think you guys got to here for about what 6.
6 or
Yeah, I woke
think
up
it
at
was
like
between-
5 in the morning.
Yeah, I think it was 6 in the morning. We all met at our rehearsal room and got loaded up, and then we travelled down because we wanted to get there as early as possible. Because I mean, we didn't know obviously ourselves what to expect, and you know, we sort of got there and we had to find out, you know, find where we had to go back for backstage and all that, and
Just allow enough time, act
Yeah.
professional, and to be fair, they all looked after us really well.
We
Didn't
was
they?
Yeah,
They were
everyone was
really,
really
really
nice.
nice.
we was really well looked after, and you know, we took a couple of stage hands as well, and it was like when we got there, obviously everybody just saw like all the stage crew for the sofa stage just, you know, start taking everything out of the back of the van and setting it up, and also it
was a
mint,
nice
wasn't it?
Yeah, like a drum kit
we
upstairs.
didn't have to do nothing. I thought, blooming hell, I can get used to this.
I'm also curious, like how much of the equipment do you as the band provide, and how much is house stuff?
Well, we got the option. To be fair, they had a list of equipment that we was able to borrow if we wanted to. But our stage setup's pretty simple. There's not too much going on, so you know it fits in the back of a small combi van. So it was just like we'll just take all our own stuff, took out our own drum kit, our own in-ears. You know, me and Zach are on digital boards, so
I did use their bass cover. So it was a big amp.
Yes,
wasn't
you
it?
did
So,
use their bass cab.
yeah.
That was the only thing that was
Was
borrowed.
that for the symmetry on the stage? Because what did it look at?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I borrowed a bass cab as well, just so
Yeah.
that it looked symmetrical. But,
Yeah, all about the symmetry. Cool. So I enjoyed your little short video you put up on Instagram, showing us a little bit of what goes on backstage. And tragically, I am really interested in what looks to be the green room. I never thought about it before, but yeah, I guess there would be a green room at the Sophie stage. Whereabouts is it?
Right behind the stage.
Yeah, it's right
lit-
behind.
Yeah, literally right behind the stage. There's like a little compound with about 4 different like porta cabins. And then obviously, so we was obviously the first band there, but within like 15 minutes, the band that was playing after us was coming into their green room. You know what I mean? And then by the time we went on stage, I think there was about 3 bands in that compound.
Yeah.
And then obviously we get to, I think we got about half an hour, 45 minutes after the show.
Yeah. We had
in
more than enough time to be able to get ourselves together and get all our stuff where it needed to be. And
Yeah.
stagehand helped.
Yeah,
like I said.
but yeah, they're right, literally smack bang right behind the stage.
It's very efficient the way that they run the whole. Like, it's a very tight ship.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll bet that might well be the most boring question I've ever asked on this channel. But as I say, I am interested in every little detail about Bloodstock.
We had a big bucket of beers, waters. We had some food.
Yeah.
I think there were even a microwave.
yeah, there was
Yeah.
microwave,
Yeah.
pot noodles as well. Yeah, it was really well looked after. I mean, it's like we was talking to the stage manager, and you know, even though we was on at 10:30 in the morning, we were still treated as good as the headliners would have been. We couldn't have asked to have been treated any better, really.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you know, they was just so nice. Everyone was just so nice, looked
Lovely
after us, you know, any questions were answered, and it was just, yeah.
Did any of you guys have a mishap when you're on stage? Because I did, and my drum set were like boom straight on it. 'Cause my mic came off and like hit the snare and like just laid on the snare for a bit. Did either of you guys have to get?
No,
I
I
was
didn't.
all
I was
Yeah.
all right. I mean, my in-ears were cutting in and out, but no one knew that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I never noticed any of that in the audience, so I'm sure it was all good. Did you guys stick around for the whole weekend?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Well, we come sort of daily, didn't we?
Yeah.
We came daily, but
When we
Lon
finally
I was
worked out,
camping.
Lon was camping.
and when we finally worked out the road layout, we got
Yeah, yeah. It took a bit of time trying to find it, but that's
Back-
just because we're
Yeah.
open, mate.
it's back and forth for us.
Obviously, we tried to get an early night on Saturday night, though, didn't we? Because we all come back and wanted to get rested up, especially because we had to sort of be up here for 6. So we didn't stay too. I don't think we missed. What time did we get back?
We left about 5 or 6. So
It was 6.
Yeah.
It was 6 because we.
What last band you saw?
I can't remember the last band we saw on the Saturday, but I think we left about 6 o'clock on the Saturday. But other than that, we were there from the Friday and then come on the Saturday, and then we stayed right till the end of Megadeth on the Sunday, didn't we? So it was a very long day that day, was because,
Fun day out.
like I says, we got up here for 6, got over there, played the show, and then we stayed there till way after 11 after Megadeth, and then come home.
Yeah.
And I think we got home about 2 in the morning, didn't we? So yeah, long day.
Yeah, I bet. Were there any band highlights over the weekend?
Yeah, I had quite a few bands. I mean, Megadeth were
That would be mine.
Megadeth were real,
I'm
weren't they,
big,
to be fair.
big Megadeth fan, so that was a cool experience.
Yeah.
Like the set list they did as well, threw out a few ones that I didn't think they'd do. Just being able to hear them again was cool. So I've seen them before years ago, but obviously you forget what they're like after a couple of years. So to see another lineup of Megadeth, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
So that was my personal highlight, I'd say.
I really enjoyed the Keysters as well. I really, because I've never seen them. So to finally get the chance to see them, and I really enjoyed them. Really enjoyed them. I think they were one of the highlights for me, to be fair. As well as like Ugly Kid Joe, because you know I grew up listening to Ugly Kid Joe. I loved them. So
Killswitch were on the Friday.
Oh, Killswitch.
Yeah, of course.
yeah,
Forgot about Killswitch.
Yeah.
No, I forgot about that. But yeah,
They
was probably
pulled
my
out a lot of
highlight.
like songs I didn't think they'd do. Like they've not done for years. So that was cool to hear them as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were probably my highlight.
Yeah.
I was really gutted that I missed Visions of Atlantis. That was one of me. That's a regret of mine, because if there was any band I really, really wanted to see, it was them. And I can't remember why, but I couldn't make it down on the Thursday, and I was absolutely gutted because I really did want to see them.
Cool. So as I said, it was a great set. So what a way to be introduced to you guys at that show. So hopefully you'll be back at Bloodstock in the not too distant future. Cool. So now we're all up to date with what's already happened. Let's look further ahead. I know it's cheeky for me to ask, seeing as the EP only just came out, but when might we be able to hear more music from you guys?
Very soon. Very soon. We yeah. Well, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we always said we didn't want to leave it too late releasing some more material, because it took us so long to get the EP out, and we'd already got some new songs written. So we have been in the studio since Bloodstock, recording a new single, and we are hoping that it will be released at some point before Christmas.
You play it at Bloodstock.
We did play it at Bloodstock.
We did,
Yeah,
Preview.
yeah, we did play it for the first time
Demo
live.
version, I suppose we can call it. can't we?
Yeah, it wasn't what
Rough mix
yeah,
or whatever.
We've fine tuned it since.
we've
Yes.
fine-tuned it since, yeah.
Played around with it a
So
little bit.
I think we've just got vocals left to do on it now, but it's sounding really, really good.
Awesome. Definitely can't wait for that. Definitely going to be excited for that one. And also shows. So you guys have an awesome looking show with Scarlet Riot on the 17th of September. I bet you're really pumped for that one.
Absolutely, mate.
Yeah. can't wait for
Absolutely.
that one.
We can't wait. Can't wait. I've been listening to Scarlet for the best part of 10 years, I'd say, if not longer. They've been an inspiration of mine as well. So to finally get the chance to support them, like, I'm as excited for that as I was jumping on at Bloodstock. Do you know what I mean? Because they are, one of my favourite bands. So yeah, I'm very excited for that one.
Yeah, I think they played Bloodstock. I want to say 2021. I think I saw them, and yeah, they were fantastic. So as soon as I saw that show, I thought that sounds like it's going to be awesome. Could be such an epic night. Whereabouts is that one?
It's at the Yardbirds in Grimsby.
Cool.
Then number one.
And we've got another support slot with them on their actual, because that's their tour warm-up show. And then we get in to support them on their Nottingham date as well. So, getting to support them twice is mint.
That one's already sold out as well. So
Yes,
that's pretty
and it's sold out. So, yeah, buzzing for that.
Cool. Well, I was gonna say everyone check the links down in the description below, but it turns out they've already missed out. So, but instead, I'll say, people watching, go check out the links below to follow Phoenix Lake's socials, so you can keep up to date with upcoming shows and, of course, support the band because it's really, really cool. I'll ask a selfish question now. Any chance of you guys coming down Bristol way anytime soon?
Have we had any shows?
We've
I'm
got
trying to think if we've got.
we've been in touch with a few people down that way, haven't we?
Yeah.
Nothing's come to light just yet, but we've got a few venues in mind that we'd like
We're
to
working on it.
that we'd like to come and play. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, can't wait for that. I'll definitely show up if I can because I think you guys would go down great in Bristol. It would be awesome. Cool. So best of luck with everything you've got coming up in the near future, guys. Can't wait to see what you get up to. And again, I'll reiterate, people watching, please check out those links down below. Right, so we'll get to our fun, spectacular outro thing that we do at the end of every interview with some random quick fire questions that have nothing to do with anything. You can think
We want to win.
you can think as long or as short as you like. You can fight it out as well. You do not have to come to a consensus. So a lot of bands consider this therapy because a few arguments come out of these normally. So right. We always start with this one. It's kind of the metal Marmite question. Do you like Ghost?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. Team Ghost are winning. I've been asking that for a while. Yeah. Anyone who says no, I just end the interview, basically. So cool. Next question. Traditional metal or modern metal?
Both.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I listen to it, mate.
Yeah.
That's a very hard question. That's a very hard question.
I like both.
I like both.
I go to more older metal, but
I think I'm leaning more towards
Like
modern
Sabbath.
metal
I'm
now.
gonna say modern because I think it's good to
I just think
see
it's progressed.
new
I think
artists
bit of
come out.
both.
Sabbath are good.
Yeah.
I like the
That was a
Theo
tough
era.
question.
Probably more.
It's a naughty question.
Yeah.
I say quick fire, but sometimes they take a lot longer. Next question. Mosh pit or standing at the barrier?
Barrier.
Barrier.
I don't know. I'm a mosh pit boy.
My
Yeah.
legs hurt.
I got on the barrier for Parkway Drive and it was amazing.
We got the barrier for Parkway Drive.
Yes, you were there.
We
You
were
was there.
we were here.
I
Yes.
was there as
You
well.
was there.
Well, I don't know. I was watching Parkway one hour.
Awesome. Go to post gig meal.
Oh,
Host gig meal.
I mean, there is a certain restaurant, fast food restaurant we always visit, but I don't know if we can brand endorse. Yeah, usually I like to have like chicken goujons.
Fillet fish.
There you go.
I'm the only one who likes
Some
fillet.
form of cheeseburger.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, not
Mac-
really big into
McDonald's.
burger. Yeah, we
Ma-
always
ma-
end up going
it-
to
it-
McDonald's.
It's McDonald's. We go to McDonald's after every show.
It's like the only place that's open most of the time.
Yeah. But one time I asked a band that question and they immediately came out with Prime Minister. I was like, okay, that's very specific. Yeah, usually it's Mackey's, I suppose. But right, next question. Film or TV show?
So,
I had good TV. My attention span's not long enough for a film.
No, I'm a big film nerd. I like
Yeah.
films.
Cool. Going off of that, favorite film?
I don't have favourites of anything.
I think Pirates of the Caribbean for me.
Lord of the Rings for me.
That's a good
Oh,
shout.
Easy.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings, definitely.
Good shout.
It's a brilliant shout.
You watch Rings of Power?
Huh?
I like Rings of Power.
Oh, Rings.
That's a good show.
Jumping ahead there. Next question is favorite TV show.
Oh, that's tough.
I really like the Midnight Gospel. It felt like therapy during lockdown.
Favorite TV show?
I
That's
don't
that's
watch a
not
lot
a
of
quick fire
TV
question.
We're not very good at this, are we?
Futurama.
No, we're not very good at it.
Simpsons, yeah, why not? Simpsons.
Why not?
I don't really watch.
No,
telly
I
much, but-
really enjoyed like Sons of Anarchy. To be fair, that was a big one of my favorites. But then Breaking Bad was good. That was a favorite TV show.
Live action One Piece is really good. I enjoyed it.
Oh, Stranger Things is good. That's not.
Yeah, it's good as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Death Note. Sorry, I'm just shouting anime now.
I want to watch that. I haven't watched that yet, but that'll be on my list.
Great, awesome.
That's hard to say. That was
That wasn't very quick.
Not
fire.
quick fire.
Well, you're gonna love this next one then. Favorite band / artist.
Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl. Yeah, I win.
Well, Metallica. Right? Metallica.
Not Thin Lizard.
Partway Drive.
That's such a hard question.
Partway Drive.
I can't pick.
Easy.
Pick one.
I can't pick one. Ooh. Oh no.
Pick a
Alter
couple.
Bridge.
Alter Bridge,
I
yeah.
don't really
Oh,
have a
Miles Kennedy.
favorite. I can't decide. It depends on the day.
Yeah, yeah.
Depends on the mood.
Yeah, basically.
Fair enough. What are you currently listening to?
Wolf Alice.
I've been listening to CK Live recently. Randomly, I don't know why.
I've been going for a bit of a Black Belt Brides binge. To be fair,
Bangers.
That takes me back.
Okay, still like them.
yeah, I watched the Legion of the Black last night.
I haven't listened to the
And
Raven
now,
Ages.
now I've got my son going again. Now on Black Belt Brides.
Raven Ages recent release. What else have I listened to? Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
Whatever's
can't
in your
remember.
phone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever's on your
Raven,
playlist.
Raven Age is a recent one.
Yeah. Cool. Final question. Favorite Phoenix Lake song?
Savior.
Savior.
I like
Thinking,
Faithless. It's a really, really fun one.
I'd say Faithless.
It was Come Alive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We all-
That's what I was just gonna say.
it was Come Alive, but
I think
obviously,
performance-wise,
I think
the
performance.
energy of
The energy of Come Alive is a favorite.
I was thinking the breakdown of Faithless.
But then obviously the other songs obviously just have, Savior's quite fun to play. So I'd say that's probably one of my favorites for
I like the lyrics in Savior, quite a lot of the meaning behind when I wrote it, I guess. So I relate more to
yeah.
that. And I think that the ones, because we wrote them so long ago, the more recent stuff slowly starts becoming
I mean,
more.
Come Alive is very, very fun to play live. It is a good song, but I think obviously, some of the songs just have certain elements, and like I said, Savior is probably my favorite just because.
I think Come Alive's my second.
Oh yeah, yeah, Come Alive will be my second favorite, but I don't know. I do love playing Savior.
Can we just appreciate we're really terrible at the word quickfire?
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
a really long
yeah.
one.
I really need to rename that section because it always goes on longer than the interview.
I know. I get going, don't I?
Cool. Anyway, that's all I've got. So thank you again so much, Phoenix Lake, for joining me today.
Yeah, cheers.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Thank you.
guys. As I said to everyone watching, go check out those links below and check out Phoenix Lake because they are awesome. And thank you all for watching. Go listen to some amazing heavy metal, and I'll see you all in the next video.